Well, the question is, do we have the ability to affect change in the union? Anthony Staley.
Okay, yes, we can. If people stop sitting back and being so passive and realize the control and the power that you have, you are the union. Each and every one of you are the union. We unite, we change things. You know, instead of sitting one by one in locker rooms and all over the place talking about how bad things are, why don't you just everybody unite as a complete group? You know, you don't have to holler about who's head of the group or anything like that. Just unite as a group of people with a focus on an agenda to change things. That you control this. You pay them their salaries. Exactly. This is your union.
Exactly.
It's not theirs, it's yours. They work for you. So whatever you want or whatever you're trying to do, you tell them. You tell them this is what we going to, this is what we need. We need better protection here. We need our union to represent us better. We need y'all to step up and handle our disciplinary cases better. We need better representation all around in all areas.
Okay, Charlie MUNIZ, let me ask you a question. Do you think we can be an influence on the union? You think we can make things better?
Yeah, of course we can. The thing is that people have to speak up. People have to be not afraid. Remember, there's no such thing as a dumb question.
That's right.
Only dumb answers. And there's strength in numbers. There's strength in numbers. If one speaks up, maybe the other might get the courage to speak up, and more will follow through. On top of that, the union, even though they ignore a lot of things that we say, or they try to ignore it. Wait a minute, let me rephrase that. They try to ignore it, but they hear us loud and clear. And, if there's only a few of us, but imagine if we got more people involved. Oh, they'll listen. They'll definitely listen. Yeah.
Brother Blocker, you think that we can make a change in the union by helping the members and things of that nature, sir?
I truly believe so, because a lot of people, I'm new to this, and I believe in the law, and there has to be some laws against everything that's being done and not being done. As a member, because I could speak for myself, I was treated with a disciplinary action where they gave me the lesser penalty. They wouldn't even listen to my story.
So unification is needed, though.
Yes. Organization too.
Well, see, I'm glad you mentioned that, because the reason why I'm glad you mentioned it, because it brings to the whole point of this whole wage freeze thing. And, we ratify a contract, and now all of a sudden they don't want to honor the contract. Now, the goal of a wage freeze is very, very clear. Cut expenses in economic times to improve the bottom line of the company, okay? Cuomo has said that the coronavirus requires a wartime dynamic, whatever that means, okay?
Yeah, what do that mean?
Yeah, basically in both the public and private sector, okay? He basically wants the MTA to say, hey, look, do not give these transit workers their raise. I know you ratified the contract, don't give them their raise. Staley, can they do that?
No, they can't.
Why can't they do that, sir?
Why can't they do that? Because point blank, if there's the only way they can stop a raise that's contractual, that we already signed off, if the city or state was to go bankrupt and claim bankruptcy, okay? That's the only way. And if the police, sanitation, and the rest of them are not taking a hit like that, then we shouldn't. That's the being discriminatory. That's taking direct shots at transit workers. And that's unfair. And that's the angle, and that should be the argument, number one. Number one, the argument in court should be, there's not an emergency, a financial emergency here in New York City at all.
Wait a minute, Stanley,
they just got couple of $1 billion.
Wait a minute. They're saying that they're losing about $1 million a day.
That's incompetence on their behalf. They even admitted closing down the station at night is costing them $5 million a night. So if you know you're losing $5 million a night, and you can't afford to lose $5 million a night, why you ain't open the stations back up yet? That came out of your own mouth. That's number one. So we have nothing to do with your incompetence and your inability to manage your budgets. That's not our problem. We signed an agreement that said we were to get raises at these increment and within these incremental time during this contract. And there's no reason for you to turn around and say this unless they're trying to bully or intimidate the union. That's all this could possibly be, because nobody running hollering through the streets like the city is bankrupt. I don't see them cut down the amount of runs that sanitation does. Sanitation, they're getting everything they're supposed to get. I didn't see them cut down any police shifts, because I remember when
they bought more
financial crisis, they cut down on certain services. We ain't nothing being cut down yet, other than incompetent people milking the MTA. And if they losing money, then you better check somebody else's pockets, because hey, we have nothing to do with it. The workers have. I just think it's an out that they want to use against the workers, and I think it's a shot at the union to see how competent they are in their ability to fight against them. Plain and simple.
Let me bring Brother Block in. Brother Block, do you honestly think that they should stop these raids?
Everybody else still getting overtime.
Say what now? What Brother Block? What you say?
I said, so if they're losing money, no, I'm saying everybody's still getting overtime, but the station department. So how much money are they really actually losing?
Good point. Brother Charlie, do you think that do you think they should violate the contract and things of that nature, not give us our raises?
It's a political ploy. I said that before in the last Zoomcast that we had. It's an election year, so Cuomo's trying to him, Utano, and Samuelson are trying to get together, and once again screw the members by having the same people in office. But we're not going to fall for it. They can't, like Staley said, they can't violate the contract, and if they do, it's because most of us are minorities down here. There's more minorities down in transit than there is in sanitation, in the police department, in the fire department, etc. So in other words, let's fuck the nigga in the spics, all right, and let the white people get what they agree to. You know, that's the way I see it. Okay, and I know my language can be kind of harsh, but so what? You know, I call it as it is.
Yep. Because the bottom line is that Patrick Floyd said he would not discuss labor issues in the public. But I always say this, you won't discuss it, but look at the actions of the MTA, and they're speaking loud and clear. Their actions are loud and clear, okay?
Let me point out also that if they didn't have the money, why did they spend $125 million on outside contractors to clean the trains when they had CTAs? When they had CTAs who could have done the job? Why do they have these security guards who are constantly on their phones, not doing their job? Why do they have them walking around patrolling? Well, they're patrolling, but they're not doing anything. Look at them. I mean, for instance, there's one security guard that I've seen, and I won't say where it's at, but I've only seen him one time off his phone. One time. He's too busy looking at videos. It's insane. You know, there's money for stupid things. There's money spent unwisely, because the MTA is notoriously famous for spending money that either they claim they don't have or they're just throwing it away. I mean, they do have, and they're just throwing it away. Let me also point out that a couple of years ago, the MTA tried to pull this shit. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, I was going to go there. Yeah.
The union took them to court, and guess what? We got our raises. So people out there don't fall for this crap. And if they manage to do it, hold the union responsible, because there's something that they can't do. Go to court.
Yes, Staley, come on in here. Let me ask you a question. In 2009, the lawsuit that we won, how did that go about, sir?
2009 lawsuit about what, the raise that they were trying to keep?
Right.
It went basically the same way. We went to court. they couldn't prove no financial hardship, because the bottom line is that's why you take them to court. You want them to come in and prove financial hardship that you can't afford. That goes with layoffs as well. When it comes to that, prove that you can't afford to pay these people. Prove that you have to lay these people off because you can't afford to pay these people. All of that would have to be proven in a court. You just can't jump up tomorrow morning and says, okay, I don't want to pay these people, so we're going to lie and just say we ain't got the money. We just tell them we ain't going to give them the raise because we ain't got the money. That's it. Transit for a long time has been run incompetently. You had a few here and there that had some kind of stability as far as financially, and ran this the system without these all of a sudden these types of threats of we ain't going to give you your raise. Listen, we got a signed agreement. Bottom line, unless the city can prove financial hardship across the board for all agencies, not just us, for all agencies,
all New York
not take
agencies.
a raise or anything,
right?
Then they may have a shot. But we know that's not going on, because if there was financial hardship across the state, it'd have been in the news a long time ago.
Yep. Question, Charlie. Why won't the union stand up to Governor Cuomo? Now, Governor Cuomo runs the MTA. Okay. The union has given money. I know you're going to talk about that. That's why I asked you. The union has given Cuomo money. So my question is, why won't this union stand up to Governor Cuomo in that which go?
Well, it's a give and take. I mean, in the 2014 contract, the union received $6 million from Cuomo. That's a nice incentive to keep them quiet. I know if I got $6 million, my mouth would be shut. I wouldn't. I mean, that's a lot of money we're talking about. So everybody has a price. Unfortunately, this union's leadership had theirs, and we're paying the price. We're paying the price, and we're going to continue paying the price until we have new leadership.
Well, Brother Blocker, do you think that the members should begin the process of working according to the rule book?
Yes, I advise that every day. Do what your rule book tells you. You still got to, a lot of people are still intimidated by supervision.
Right.
So I say the best counterclaim to just follow the rules and do your job. Just take your time and do your job. Don't stress a supervisor. What could they do to you? The same thing that could be done to you can be done to them.
Question, Staley, why
Yes.
do you think the union will not stand up against Governor Cuomo, even in this time of crisis?
Listen, it's been a pattern for years, and this mentality is entrenched in this union. The members don't step up and stand up and hold their feet, hold the union people to representative feet to the fire. And it's been so entrenched that the union been disrespecting the membership. The union just does what it wants, because we can't collectively get on the same page and just say, listen, we don't have to like each other, but we all working down here in the same conditions. We all have families that we're trying to take care of. These are the points that people need to look at. You don't have to like me. I mean, we don't go home together and we don't break bread at the same table and all that. That's fine, but we all need to point out what's the problem. Stop letting the problem drag us all down. This is dragging us all down. It doesn't make sense for this to continue to happen this way. These are adults. If you bring a bunch of kids down here, or even for that matter, your children, and see the lack of cohesion between us, just as workers, we ain't got to be friends, but we all fighting for the same thing, because what's your problem at your station today is my problem tomorrow. You see, and that's why this is like a domino effect, and we've been allowing it to go on for too long. People need to just stop, Just don't wait till somebody tap you on your shoulder and say, listen, you can leave your badge and pass on the way out the door, and we don't need you no more. And then you turn around hollering about, oh, where's the union? Listen, it's time to take control of your job and your future on this job. Let me just say this little quick scenario, and then I'll let somebody else step in. Imagine if they go through with a work freeze. Those that got 2, 3, 4 years on the job, they locked in like things ain't going up for them. They got families to feed. They've been waiting to get the top pay. Here it is. Now you're going to snatch the rug from under them before they get there. That's going to hurt their families. They still got to. Yeah, you're talking about on a rookie pay scale, trying to take care of a family. And here it is. You come in faithfully. You don't want us to take the time off. We don't want us to use sick time. You want to do everything, want us to do everything else. You talk about employee availability, but you don't want to pay us. What kind of, listen, this is slavery or what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You pay us when you feel like paying us, then we'll work when we feel like working. How about that?
Charlie MUNIZ, what you say?
Let me point out also that John Samuelson mentioned, and it was in all the papers, that Cuomo is taking $145 million and putting it towards other projects or towards another budget or whatever it is, but he's taking it out of transit's budget. Okay, that's enough to give us our raises. Also, but Samuelson never mentioned Cuomo by name. He just mentioned Albany. But who runs Albany? Cuomo. Who runs the MTA? Cuomo. You know, how about mentioning his name? Why are they so afraid to mention his name? Because they're in cahoots. That's it's simple. Either that or Cuomo's threatening them. I mean, and if Cuomo's threatening them, that means he has something on them. Let me just point out one thing, okay? And a lot of people don't know this. A couple of years ago, Cuomo was investigating John Samuelson. Okay, there was an investigation. What became of that? Nobody knows. I'll leave it at that.
Interesting. Blocker, what you say?
Do
you feel that the union will not mention Cuomo's name because they're afraid to deal with him?
I truly believe so. Because if they gave him money and they're backing him, why are you gonna
bite the hand that feeds you? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of stuck on that one though.
Yep. Final word, Staley. What should the members do if this wage freeze goes forward? Let's just say the union says, look, we can't stop this because the MTA is on economic times. What should the members do?
Man, I tell you point blank, it would have to be some kind of job action against them, whether it's a slowdown or whatever you want to call it. If you want to call it what the police, when they have the blue fever, well, you know, we got MTA fever or something. You know, we're going to slow down and work the rule. Period. Slow down and work to rule. You know, you used to get 3 stations, you might get 2, you might get 1.5, you know, or something in that nature. But you can't expect the same production from a people that's been promised a salary, and all of a sudden you're just going to take just arbitrarily just take the salary from them, and you still want them to get out here and work. You got to be that's insulting. That's insulting. That's the ultimate slap in the face, you know, for every single worker to be.
If they violate our contract, what should the workers do, sir?
Well, I mean, a work slowdown, even a strike. I mean, if they can violate the contract, so can we. So can we. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. So if they can break the contract, the details of the contract, well, how come we can't? You know, they're violating it. There's no excuse to violate it. People can't let this union hold their feet to the fire, because they're taking out your dues money. They gave Cuomo $500,000 in coke money, okay? And I mean, and they're constantly defending Cuomo. Defend your members. Get your members what they want. You know, they want you to produce for them. If you can't produce, get out of the way and let people in who will fight for you.
Brother Blocker, if this wage freeze goes forward, what do you think the CTA should do, sir?
Well, Charlie and Anthony already said it, because see, I always induce a slow down, especially on snow duty. Take your time. If it's too much work and you're constantly being pushed, work according to the rules. Because if you ain't getting paid, come on, let's be real here. You know, Charlie and Anthony are more vocal at this. I'm a fighter. I'll get out there and I'll cuss and I'll fuss and I'll tell them like it is. I'm not doing all of that because I can't. Y'all don't want to pay me? Hell with y'all. You know, it don't make sense. I came to this job because I assumed that I could live a better life. I could take care of my family. I could eat a bigger steak than I used to eat before I had a job. That's why I came to this job. So when y'all talking about not paying me properly, how do you think I feel? Yes, I'm going to go against the gun. You know, I might be the one on the other end of the gun, but I'm looking for my money. Treat me fairly. You don't want to treat me fairly. You treat us like we on a plantation. You know, that's not fair. That's not fair. You know?
And let me just say this right quick. Okay, you saying you don't want to give us our raise, and your excuse is because you don't have it. Well, you know, a bunch of y'all sitting up there making 6 figures.
Yeah.
And don't make and don't do half the job that the cleaners and the stations agents are doing. You know,
Yep.
for that matter, they don't have the job that the RTO train operators, conductors, bus operators, all of us that face the public every day on a continuous basis, in which we get the most discipline as well, because we're acting with the public. But you're going to turn around and say, we got to take a hit. What about y'all sitting up in the office ain't doing nothing but bothering us while we trying to work?
We in the middle
what
of the
about
battle
that?
too.
Why don't y'all just pool up your money, all your money, and just say, listen, we're going to give it to the workers out there that's out there in the cold, that's shoveling in the snow, that are getting spit on, that getting hit, slapped, and abused. Them are the real heroes, because we're the ones that we're taking that abuse. You're sitting in the office just giving directions.
A couple of weeks ago, I wrote that that they raised the tolls and booths 7%.
Yes.
And that's to keep up with the economics, which has gone up 4%. So by taking our 2% away, or 2.5% away, once again, we're making less than the cost of living.
Exactly.
We haven't kept pace since this administration's been in office since 2010. We have not kept up with the cost of living.
That's
and now
right.
they want to keep shooting us down. I mean, by taking our raises away, it's insane. How can they allow it? How can they continue to allow it?
Well, you know, I have been down here for about 4 years now. And the thing that I have desperately sought, and the thing that I desperately see, is we need proper leadership. Okay, what is needed is a political leadership for the working class. We are in what's called COVID capitalism. Why is it called COVID capitalism? Because everyone is capitalizing now off of COVID. They're selling masks, they're selling gloves, they're selling everything pertaining to COVID. It's COVID capitalism. Whether in our union or in our nation, we must not be afraid to fight for justice. If you take away our raises, that is injustice, and here comes the fight. Okay. Remember, if you are not at the table, you might be on the menu. Okay. If you're not at the table, you might be on the menu. Politicians work for you. The union works for you. If you do not like them, you have the option of voting them out. But you also have the option of showing up to the union meeting and raising hell. In the stations department, we have a union meeting this Thursday, okay? 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. This is a great political fight. It is time to get in the fight. This is the time for the working class to step up and let their voices be heard. Go to your union meetings, have your questions ready, raise your hand, and ask the question. Do not allow them to skip around. You ask the question, you are a member in good standing, you demand an answer. So, there's a union meeting coming up. It's this Thursday, okay? It is the 25th. Look, we know that CTAs are not being paid on time. We had given to us a draconian bulletin, okay, where everything was canceled, okay? And what we were told is that they are fighting this memo and bulletin, and we have to comply while they fight. That's not really good, okay? But again, when we get in, there will be none of this nonsense of complying, okay? The bottom line is this: we have rights. We have rights. Management cannot just bully us with their rights, okay? We have rights. Every single person that is listening to me, go online and look up the Members' Bill of Rights, and you will see and understand what is going on in our department, because the union is all messed up also. But what is going on in our department, it's not good, and you all know it. Okay, I understand some of y'all live far away. You say you can't make it to the union meeting. I get it. Make a sacrifice. Come on in. Why? They are taking your money every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks, money is coming out of your paycheck, and you're sitting home going, well, I don't know why the union is doing this. Come down. Ask them the questions. They want to hear from you. So what we want you to do is get in the fight. Get in the game, okay? It's your money. It's not mine, it's yours. And at the end of the day, we must begin the process of unifying against this draconian practice. Can you imagine getting a raise, being happy, and then they say, I'm sorry, we're taking it away, and the people that you are paying to represent you, they say, well, you know, it's okay. We're gonna fight this thing. But as for now, you know, it's over. Stanley, what you say?
But see, this is the thing. The people that are oppressing you, all on both sides of the coin, is getting their money. The union reps, they're getting their money. They're getting paid. The union, they're getting nobody taking no raise for them, and management getting their. So they beating on the stepchild, the little ugly stepchild that refused to step up and speak up for themselves. This is what this is about. If we sit back and allow it to happen, then boy, I mean, God willing, son, I really can't see or understand people that's being attacked and won't fight back, you know. And when I say fight back, it doesn't have to be a physical fight. It's a mental fight, you know. You take these people to court, you know. We could still go to court without using a union, you know. We could just get an attorney and take the TA to court on our own as employees with a signed agreement. A lot of people don't even know that. You could go to take TA to court as an employee with a signed agreement. Whether the union want to support you on it or not, you can take it as an employee with a signed agreement and that you demand they abide by this signed agreement. There you go.
Brother MUNIZ, what you say?
Well, I mean, let's put it. I mean, the way you guys say it, you guys say it in a nice way. But you know what? Don't stick a piece of candy in my face and then take it away and say, sorry, sucker. But that's what they're trying to do to us. Okay. I'm not a sucker. We're not suckers. All right. And we're not gonna take this BS. We're gonna get our raise. Okay. And I can't see them doing it. Like I said, I think it's a political ploy because they want Tony Utano to ride in his white horse later on and say, look, I got you your raise, but we didn't get our hazard pay. You know, so I think it's trying to deflect from the hazard pay that we deserved. Okay, it's trying to deflect from the 145 people that died, of our coworkers that died. It's trying to deflect from the 8,000 plus who got sick. So it's to me, it's just like, stop playing games. We're not suckers. We're not gonna forfeit. Not this time. Okay, over the course of the years, this administration has taken advantage of the members, and we're here to wake them up. We're ready.